There are many reasons why Voodoo is a bad video game company. This video will discuss why Voodoo games are horrible as fuck. Number 1, they are infamous for releasing a widespread amount of ads which features ridiculous claims and word marks such as if you survive 90 seconds, you can get Platinum Golden Ticket for free. 99% cannot pass this level, or I can't reach pink color. Also, for whatever reason, many of their ads also use very ugly filters. Number 2, in order to play their games, they require you to allow them to use your data. If you don't do so, you will access a variant of the game with more ads and a banner informing you of your decision. Thankfully, the ads can be avoided altogether most of the time by disconnecting from the internet. Number 3, inability to take criticism. After being called out by Ben Esposito for plagiarizing his game Donut County, Voodoo attempted to overshadow Donut County's release by flooding ads of Hole.io on every platform. In the case of Hole.io, the game copied the core gameplay mechanic of Donut County and were rushed to be released before Donut County's full release, despite the aforementioned game were revealing under development for over 5 years. Number 4, despite not being a small company that cannot afford to own an online multiplayer server, they chose to make fake online multiplayer games as an excuse to save their money from operating an actual multiplayer server.
Their published games.
Number 1, quantity over quality. Voodoo is known for using simplistic and hyper-casual as an excuse to publish a large number of lazily made shovelware games on mobile application stores. Such games have the following flaws mentioned below. Number 2, the gameplay is overly simplistic, usually requiring the player to do one simple task over and over again with no additional content or rewards whatsoever. Their controls are also generic, ranging from changing the movement direction swiping from a side to another to just tapping and holding down the screen. Number 3, the difficulty is extremely easy, or in some cases unbalanced. They barely require effort to be beaten, as in one of their games, Curvy Punch 3D, some levels can be beaten with just one input. Number 4, they feature ugly and overly simplistic graphics that consist of texture-less polygons, and/or simple shapes that are just differently colored. In fact, they can fit into a Nintendo 64 game, and to make matters worse, many Nintendo 64 games even the textured graphics. Even if some of them do have textured graphics, which rarely happens, they still don't go above the Nintendo 64 level. Number 5, some of them, for unknown reasons, are extremely laggy to the point they suffer from frequent framerate drops and at some points, can even overheat the device, or crash the game completely. Number 6, there is no music whatsoever. They also have a limited amount of generic sound effects that are even recycled. Number 7, even though their games have levels, they cannot be replayed, which completely defeats the purpose of them. The leveled games never end, due to them being actually randomly generated, which means you cannot complete the game. Number 8, similar to their parent company, Tencent, Voodoo also created a ripoff of other games made by smaller indie studios like Infinite Golf, a ripoff of Desert Golfing, Twisty Road, a ripoff of Impossible Road, The Fish Master, a ripoff of Ridiculous Fishing, Flappy Dunk is a ripoff of Flappy Bird, Rolly Vortex is a ripoff of Rolling Sky, The Cube is a ripoff of Curiosity, What's Inside the Cube, and Hole.io is a ripoff of Donut County. Number 9. They are notorious for how many ads they have. One of their games, like Fight List, plays ads after each round ends. The fact that rounds in the game last for 45 seconds each and the ads can be long and/or unskippable makes this infinitely more annoying. Same applies for the other games who play an ad each time you fail or complete a level. Number 10, mentioning again from reason number 4 of the company section, Voodoo is also infamous for creating a fake multiplayer mode featured in their .io games. As all of the other players are controlled by CPUs, in order to save money from operating an actual multiplayer server. Now, it's time for the dishonorable mentions. Number 11. Some of their games have bizarre concepts, which at best are questionable, and at worst, clearly offensive. An example of a questionable game is To the Moon, which tries to capitalize the trend and the meme of Digicoin cryptocurrency as an attempt for Voodoo to look hip and cool and relatable to younger audiences. Thankfully though, it's not something severely bad. Unfortunately though, the next example isn't going to be that innocent. An example of an offensive game is Fat 2 Fit. which it is now renamed. A game where you control a woman who must stay skinny at all times by collecting healthy food, while avoiding unhealthy food. This is a terrible game when it comes to its idea, because it stereotypes the idea that being thin is better than being fat, and worse, can enforce eating disorders to people that are insecure about their body. It doesn't help the fact that when you get a game over, the game explicitly tells you to eat more cucumbers, or lose weight. Phew, that was harsh. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Go subscribe to me if you haven't already.